There is a theater that never closes. Its stages everywhere. In the coffee shop where two lovers meet for the first time. In the boardroom where careers are built and destroyed with a single word. In the bedroom where whispered promises dissolve into morning silence. You are both actor and audience in this theater, though you may not realize it yet. The curtain rises every morning when you open your eyes, and it falls only when sleep finally claims you. But even then, in dreams, the performance continues. Love. That word. For letters that have launched 1,000 ships, toppled empires, and justified every conceivable human action from the sublime to the monstrous. We speak it like a prayer. We chase it like salvation. We kill for it, die for it, lie for it. But what is it, really? Strip away the poetry, the songs, the stories we've been fed since childhood, and what remains? What lies beneath the mask we call love? Before we continue, a warning. The knowledge that's about to be shared cannot be unlearned. It will permanently change the way you see human relationships. If you're ready to abandon comfortable illusions and see what's behind the stage, subscribe now. Because this isn't just a video. It's the beginning of your journey under the mask. Now let us begin. Picture a woman. Let's call her Elena. She sits across from a man in a dimly lit restaurant, the kind of place where shadows pool in corners and candlelight makes everyone look like they're hiding something. Because they are. Always. The man, we'll call him Marcus, reaches across the table and takes her hand. His thumb traces circles on her palm, a gesture so tender it could make you weep. She smiles. Her eyes glisten with what anyone would recognize as affection, perhaps even adoration. If you were watching this scene, you would think, there it is. Love. Real, pure, undeniable. But you cannot see what Elena sees. You cannot feel the calculation humming beneath her skin like electricity. Marcus is successful. Not wealthy, not yet, but ascending. She has watched him for months, studied the trajectory of his career the way an astronomer studies the path of a comet. She knows he will be important someday. She knows that beside him, she too will rise. The smile she wears is not a lie exactly. It is a tool. The affection in her eyes is not false. It is strategic. She has trained herself to feel what is useful to feel, to want what is wise to want. Is this love? Or is this something else wearing love's face? Marcus squeezes her hand. He believes he has won something precious. He believes he has been chosen for his qualities, his character, his essence. He does not know that he has been selected the way one selects a stock, after careful analysis of potential returns. He does not know because Elena herself may not fully know. The human mind is a master of self-deception. We tell ourselves stories about our own motivations, stories so convincing that we become our own most devoted audience. This is the first mask we must examine. The mask of romantic love. Not the love itself, if such a thing exists in pure form, but the performance of it. The elaborate dance we do, the roles we play, the scripts we follow without ever acknowledging that we are following scripts at all. Consider the architecture of a first date. Two strangers, or near strangers, sit across from each other and engage in a ritual as old as civilization itself. They ask questions designed to sound spontaneous, but which follow predictable patterns. Where are you from? What do you do? What are your passions? Each answer is carefully curated, edited in real time to present the most attractive version of the self. Not the self that exists in private moments of doubt and weakness, but the self that deserves to be loved. And here is where it becomes interesting. Both parties know on some level that this editing is occurring. Both parties know that the person across the table is performing. Yet both parties agree, silently and completely, to accept the performance as reality. This is the social contract of romance. We will pretend that our masks are our faces, and in return, we will pretend the same. We will believe each other's lies because the alternative, the raw, unmasked truth, is too terrifying to contemplate. What would happen if Marcus looked at Elena and said, "I am attracted to you because you possess qualities that will enhance my social status and provide me with regular access to physical intimacy and emotional validation, which are needs I cannot meet independently." What would happen if Elena responded, "I am attracted to you because I have assessed your earning potential and determined that a partnership with you will provide me with financial security and social advancement"? The date would end. Immediately. Not because these statements are untrue, but because they are too true. They violate the sacred rule of the theater. Never acknowledge that you are acting. La historia continúa. Let us go deeper. Let us examine the moment when the mask begins to slip, as it always does, as it must. 6 months have passed. Elena and Marcus are no longer performing the first date. They have moved into a new act, the act of established couplehood. They have learned each other's rhythms, each other's needs. They have seen each other sick, angry, afraid. The masks have not come off, understand, but they have loosened. Small truths leak through the cracks. Marcus comes home late one evening. He is tired. A deal he has been working on for months has fallen through. He feels the weight of failure pressing down on his shoulders like a physical thing. He wants comfort. He wants Elena to hold him and tell him that his worth is not measured by his professional success, that she loves him for who he is, not what he achieves. Elena sees him enter. She reads his body language instantly. The slumped shoulders, the averted eyes. She knows what he needs. But tonight, she is tired too. She has spent the day managing her own disappointments, her own small failures. She does not have the energy to perform the role of comforter, of unconditional supporter. She wants to be held herself. She wants someone to tell her that she is enough. But she looks at Marcus, and she makes a calculation. Not a conscious one, perhaps. The calculation happens in the space between heartbeats, in the ancient part of the brain that understands survival. If she does not give him what he needs now, in this moment of vulnerability, she risks the stability of their bond. She risks his resentment. She risks the future she has been building. So she smiles. She crosses the room. She wraps her arms around him and makes the sounds of comfort, the soft murmurs that say, "You are safe, you are valued, you are loved." And Marcus, desperate for this comfort, accepts it without question. He does not ask if she means it. He does not wonder what it costs her to give it. He simply takes what is offered and feels grateful. Is Elena's gesture loving? Or is it transactional? Can it be both? Can love exist in the same space as calculation? Or does calculation poison love by its very presence? These are not rhetorical questions. These are the questions that haunt every human relationship, whispered in the dark hours when sleep will not come and the mask grows heavy on your face. Here is what the poets will not tell you. Here is what the songs leave out. Love, as we practice it, as we perform it, is a negotiation. It is a constant exchange of needs and fulfillments, of debts and payments. I will meet your need for validation if you meet my need for security. I will perform desire if you perform devotion. We keep ledgers in our hearts, though we would die before admitting it. We track who gave more, who sacrificed more, who loved more. And when the ledger becomes too unbalanced, when one party feels they have given too much and received too little, the relationship fractures. But we cannot say this out loud. We cannot acknowledge the transaction because to do so would shatter the illusion that our love is pure, selfless, unconditional. We must pretend that we give without expecting return, that we love without agenda, that we are motivated by nothing but the purest desire for the other's happiness. This is the lie, the beautiful, necessary lie, the lie that makes civilization possible. Watch Elena as she holds Marcus. Watch the way her hand moves in slow circles on his back, a gesture of comfort she has performed so many times it has become automatic. Watch the way her eyes focus on the wall behind him, distant, calculating. She is already thinking about tomorrow, about the conversation she needs to have with him about their future, about the pressure she needs to apply, gently, invisibly, to move him in the direction she needs him to go. She loves him. She truly does. But her love is not the love of fairy tales. It is not pure feeling, pure emotion. It is feeling mixed with strategy, emotion braided with intention. She loves him the way a gardener loves a plant, with genuine affection, but also with the understanding that the plant must be pruned, shaped, directed toward the light. And Marcus? What does Marcus feel as he stands in her arms, breathing in the scent of her hair, feeling the warmth of her body against his? Relief, gratitude, and beneath that, so deep he would never acknowledge it, a small cold seed of doubt. Because some part of him, the part that exists beneath his own mask, knows that her comfort is not entirely spontaneous, knows that she is managing him, handling him, the way one handles a valuable but fragile object. He knows, but he cannot afford to know. So he pushes the knowledge down, buries it beneath layers of rationalization and self-deception, and tells himself that this is what love feels like. This mixture of comfort and unease, security and doubt. La historia continúa. Now let us shift our gaze. Let us look at a different kind of love, a different kind of mask. The love between parent and child. There is a man. We will call him David. He is 43 years old, successful by any conventional measure. He has built a company from nothing, employs 200 people, lives in a house with more rooms than he can use. He has achieved everything his father told him to achieve. And his father is dying. David sits beside the hospital bed, watching the old man sleep. The machines beep their steady rhythm, marking time, counting down. His father's face is gray, sunken, barely recognizable as the face that loomed so large over David's childhood. The face that smiled with pride at good report cards and hardened with disappointment at failures. The face that taught David what it meant to be a man, which is to say, what it meant to hide weakness, to perform strength, to never, ever let them see you break. David's father opens his eyes. They are cloudy now, dimmed by pain and medication, but they still carry that quality of assessment, of judgment. Even now, especially now, David feels himself being measured. The old man speaks. His voice is a whisper, barely audible above the machines. He says, "I'm proud of you, son." 4 words. 4 simple words that David has waited his entire life to hear. He feels something crack open in his chest, something he has kept locked and sealed for decades. Tears burn behind his eyes. He wants to lean forward, to take his father's hand, to say all the things he has never been able to say. "I needed you. I wanted your approval so badly it shaped every decision I ever made. I built my entire life as an offering to you, a sacrifice on the altar of your expectations." But he does not say these things. Instead, he nods. He says, "Thank you, Dad." His voice is steady, controlled. He does not cry. He does not break. Because even now, especially now, he must wear the mask his father taught him to wear. The mask of strength. The mask of control. His father closes his eyes again, satisfied. He has given his son what he believes his son needs. Approval. Validation. The final blessing. He does not know that what David needed was not pride but permission. Permission to be weak. Permission to be human. Permission to take off the mask. But that permission will never come. Because David's father is wearing his own mask, has been wearing it so long that it has fused to his face, become indistinguishable from his actual features. He learned it from his own father, who learned it from his father before him, an inheritance passed down through generations like a genetic disease. The mask of masculine stoicism. The mask that says real men do not feel, do not need, do not break. And so David sits beside his dying father, and both men perform their roles perfectly. The proud father, the successful son, neither one able to reach across the space between them and touch the truth of what they feel. Neither one able to say, "I am afraid. I am lonely. I needed more from you than you were able to give, and I am sorry I could not be more than I was able to be." The moment passes. The machines continue their beeping. The old man drifts back into sleep, and David sits in the chair, his face composed, his mask firmly in place, and feels the weight of all the words he will never say pressing down on him like stones. This is another mask. The mask of familial love. The mask that says blood is thicker than water, that family is everything, that the bonds between parent and child are sacred and unbreakable. But beneath this mask, what do we find? Obligation. Duty. The weight of expectations that crush as often as they support. The inheritance of trauma, passed down like heirlooms, polished and preserved and presented to the next generation with pride. We are told that parents love their children unconditionally. But watch closely. Watch the way a mother's face changes when her child fails to meet expectations. Watch the way a father's approval is withdrawn, subtly or overtly, when his son or daughter chooses a path he did not choose for them. Watch the way love is used as a tool, a weapon, a means of control. I love you, but I love you if. I love you when. Conditional love masquerading as unconditional. Performance masquerading as authenticity. And the children, desperate for approval, desperate to be seen and valued, learn to wear their own masks. They learn to hide the parts of themselves that do not fit the script. They learn to perform the role of good son, good daughter, successful child. They learn that love is not something freely given, but something earned through compliance, through achievement, through the suppression of their true selves. And the cycle continues. David, sitting beside his dying father, is already thinking about his own children. 2 daughters, both grown now, both successful in their own right. He has raised them the way he was raised, with high expectations and measured affection. He has taught them to be strong, to be independent, to never show weakness. He has given them everything his father gave him, which is to say, everything except permission to be fully human. Does he love them? Yes, absolutely, without question. But his love is filtered through the mask he wears, distorted by the lessons he learned, shaped by the wounds he carries. He loves them the only way he knows how, which may not be the way they need to be loved. And they, in turn, will love their own children through their own masks, their own wounds, their own inherited patterns of performance and suppression. This is the tragedy of familial love. Not that it does not exist, but that it exists in such compromised form, so tangled with expectation and obligation and unspoken resentment that it becomes almost unrecognizable as love at all. La historia continúa. Let us turn now to a different stage. The workplace. Here, the masks are more obvious, more openly acknowledged. We call it professionalism. We call it appropriate workplace behavior. We understand that we are playing roles, that we must suppress our authentic selves in service of productivity, of hierarchy, of the smooth functioning of the organization. But even here, in this space where we admit to performing, there are deeper masks. Masks beneath masks. Performances within performances. There is a woman. We will call her Sarah. She is 31 years old, ambitious, intelligent, hungry for advancement. She works for a large corporation, the kind of place where success is measured in quarterly reports and corner offices. She has been with the company for 5 years, and she has watched carefully as others have risen past her. Men mostly. Men who are no more talented than she is, no more dedicated, no more deserving. But they have something she does not have. They have the right to be ambitious without apology. They have the right to be assertive without being called aggressive. They have the right to take up space. Sarah has learned to navigate this landscape. She has learned to wear the mask of likability. She smiles more than she wants to. She softens her language, frames her ideas as suggestions rather than directives. She has learned to make men feel comfortable with her ambition by disguising it as collaboration, by giving them credit for her ideas, by playing the role of supportive team member rather than competitive rival. She hates it. Every moment of it, the constant self-monitoring, the endless calculation of how to present herself, the exhausting performance of femininity that is assertive enough to be taken seriously, but not so assertive that she is labeled difficult, problematic, a bitch. But she does it, because the alternative is to be passed over, again and again, to watch less qualified men rise while she remains static. She does it because this is the price of admission to the game, and she wants to play. She wants to win. There is a meeting. Sarah has prepared extensively. She has data, projections, a comprehensive plan for expanding into a new market. She knows her proposal is solid. She knows it could generate millions in revenue. But she also knows that how she presents it matters as much as what she presents. Perhaps more. She enters the conference room. 12 people around the table, 10 of them men. Her boss, Richard, sits at the head. He is 56 years old, confident in the way that men who have never been questioned become confident. He believes he has earned his position through merit, through hard work. He does not see the invisible advantages that have smoothed his path. The mentors who saw themselves in him. The benefit of the doubt extended automatically. The assumption of competence that greets him in every room he enters. Sarah begins her presentation. She has rehearsed every word, every gesture. She makes eye contact, but not too much. She smiles, but not too much. She projects confidence, but not arrogance. She is walking a tightrope, and she knows that one misstep will send her plummeting. Halfway through her presentation, one of the men interrupts. He is younger than Sarah, less experienced, but he feels entitled to interrupt because he has always been entitled to interrupt. He raises an objection, a question about her data. The question is not particularly insightful, but it is delivered with confidence, with the assumption that it deserves to be heard. Sarah feels a flash of anger. She wants to shut him down, to point out the flaws in his thinking, to reclaim her space. But she does not. Instead, she smiles. She says, "That's a great question." She addresses his concern patiently, thoroughly, as if it were a legitimate challenge rather than a performance of dominance. She thanks him for his input. The meeting continues. By the end, her proposal is accepted. She has won. But the victory tastes like ash in her mouth because she knows what it cost. She knows that she had to perform a version of herself that is not her true self. She had to be smaller, softer, more accommodating than any man in that room would have had to be. This is the mask of professional femininity, the mask that women wear to survive in spaces designed for men. It is exhausting, it is degrading, and it is necessary, or so we are told. Necessary until the system changes, until the rules are rewritten, until women are allowed to be ambitious and assertive and take up space without apology. But when will that be? How many more generations of women will have to wear this mask, will have to perform this exhausting dance of competence and likability, before the mask is no longer required? And here is the deeper question. When Sarah finally achieves the success she seeks, when she finally reaches the position of power she has been striving for, will she remove the mask? Or will she have worn it for so long that it has become her face? Will she perpetuate the same system that forced her to perform, or will she have the courage to dismantle it? This is the insidious nature of masks. They protect us, yes. They allow us to navigate hostile environments, to survive in spaces that were not designed for us. But they also change us. The longer we wear them, the more they shape us, until we can no longer remember what our true face looked like, until we can no longer distinguish between the performance and the performer. La historia continúa. Let us examine now the mask of friendship. This mask is perhaps the most subtle, the most easily overlooked, because we believe that friendship is the one relationship free from the complications of romance, family, and professional obligation. We believe that friends are chosen freely, loved purely, valued for who they are rather than what they provide. But watch closely. Watch the dynamics of any friendship, and you will see the same patterns of performance, calculation, and exchange that characterize every other human relationship. There are two women. We will call them Jessica and Amanda. They have been friends since college, more than 15 years now. They know each other's histories, each other's secrets. They have supported each other through breakups and job losses, through marriages and divorces, through all the small and large crises that make up a life. They call each other best friends. They believe they love each other unconditionally. But there is a crack in the foundation, a small one barely visible but growing. Jessica has recently experienced a series of successes. She has been promoted at work. Her marriage is stable and happy. Her children are thriving. Her life, from the outside, looks like the life everyone wants. And she is happy, genuinely happy. She wants to share this happiness with Amanda, her oldest friend, the person who has been there through all the difficult times. But when Jessica talks about her successes, she notices something. A tightness around Amanda's eyes, a forced quality to her smile, a subtle shift in energy, as if Amanda is pulling back, withdrawing into herself. Amanda is struggling. Her career has stalled. Her marriage is crumbling. She is lonely, anxious, barely holding herself together. And when Jessica talks about her happiness, Amanda feels something she is ashamed to feel. Envy, resentment, a bitter voice in her head that says, "Why her and not me? What does she have that I don't have? Why does she get to be happy while I suffer?" Amanda hates this voice. She hates herself for feeling this way. Jessica is her friend. She should be happy for her. She should be able to celebrate Jessica's success without making it about herself. But she cannot. The envy is there, poisonous and undeniable, corroding the foundation of their friendship. So Amanda wears a mask. She smiles. She congratulates Jessica. She asks the right questions, makes the right supportive noises. She performs the role of happy friend, of cheerleader, of unconditional supporter. And Jessica, desperate to believe that her happiness is not a source of pain for others, accepts the performance. She does not look too closely at the tightness around Amanda's eyes. She does not ask the questions that might reveal the truth. This is the mask of friendship. The mask that says I am happy for you when what we really feel is I am drowning, and your success is a reminder of my failure. The mask that says I support you unconditionally, when what we really mean is I support you as long as you do not outshine me too much, as long as your happiness does not make my unhappiness too obvious by contrast. We do not talk about this. We do not acknowledge that friendship, like every other relationship, is subject to the corrosive effects of comparison, competition, and envy. We pretend that true friends are immune to these base emotions, that real friendship transcends such petty concerns. But it does not. It cannot. Because we are human, and humans are comparative creatures. We measure our worth not in absolute terms, but in relation to others. And when those others are our friends, the people closest to us, the comparison becomes even more painful. The friendship between Jessica and Amanda will likely survive. They will continue to meet for coffee, to text each other, to perform the rituals of friendship. But something has changed. A distance has opened between them, a space filled with unspoken resentment and unacknowledged pain. They will both feel it, but neither will name it, because to name it would be to admit that their friendship is not what they believed it to be. That it is conditional, fragile, subject to the same forces of ego and insecurity that govern all human relationships. And so they will wear their masks. They will perform their roles. They will call each other best friends and believe it, mostly, except in the dark hours when the mask grows heavy, and the truth whispers in their ears. La historia continúa. Now let us turn to the most complex mask of all. The mask we wear for ourselves. The lies we tell not to others, but to our own hearts. The performance we stage not for an audience, but for the performer. There is a man. We'll call him Thomas. He is 28 years old, and he believes he is a good person. This belief is central to his identity, to his sense of self. He recycles. He donates to charity. He is polite to service workers. He considers himself progressive, enlightened, aware of his privilege, and committed to using it for good. But there is a moment, a small moment, barely worth noting, except that it reveals everything. Thomas is walking down the street in his city. It is late afternoon, the sidewalks crowded with people heading home from work. He is thinking about dinner, about the email he needs to send, about the conversation he had with his girlfriend that morning. His mind is elsewhere, occupied with the small concerns that fill our days. A homeless man sits on the sidewalk ahead. He is old, weathered, holding a cardboard sign that Thomas does not read. As Thomas approaches, the man looks up. Their eyes meet for a fraction of a second. The homeless man opens his mouth, about to speak, about to ask for help. And Thomas looks away, quickly, automatically, as if the man is not there. He walks past without breaking stride, without acknowledging the man's existence. His face remains neutral, composed. To anyone watching, it would appear that Thomas simply did not notice the homeless man. But Thomas knows. He noticed. He saw. He chose to look away. For a moment, Thomas feels something. Guilt. Shame. The uncomfortable awareness that his actions do not align with his self-image. He is a good person. Good people help those in need. But he did not help. He looked away. He pretended not to see. But the feeling is uncomfortable, intolerable. So Thomas's mind, that magnificent engine of self-deception, goes to work. It produces justifications, explanations, reasons why his action was actually reasonable, actually justified. He does not have cash on him. He already donates to homeless charities, which is more effective than giving money directly. He is late for an appointment. The man might use the money for drugs or alcohol. There are systems in place to help people like that. It is not his responsibility to solve every problem he encounters. By the time Thomas reaches the end of the block, he has convinced himself. The guilt has been neutralized, explained away, buried beneath layers of rationalization. He is still a good person. His self-image remains intact. The mask he wears for himself, the mask of moral righteousness, has not slipped. This is the most dangerous mask of all. Because when we lie to others, some part of us knows we are lying. We feel the weight of the deception, the discomfort of the performance. But when we lie to ourselves, when we convince ourselves that our masks are our true faces, we lose the ability to distinguish between what we are and what we pretend to be. Thomas believes he is compassionate. But his compassion has limits, boundaries, conditions. He is compassionate when it is convenient, when it does not cost him too much, when it does not disrupt his comfort or challenge his self-image. This is not real compassion. This is the performance of compassion, the mask of compassion. But Thomas cannot see the difference. He has worn the mask for so long, told himself the story of his own goodness so many times, that he has become his own most devoted believer. We all do this. Every one of us. We construct narratives about ourselves, stories that cast us as the heroes of our own lives, as fundamentally good people who occasionally make mistakes, but whose intentions are pure, whose hearts are in the right place. We ignore the evidence that contradicts these narratives. We explain away our failures, our cruelties, our moments of cowardice and selfishness. We tell ourselves that we would act differently in different circumstances, that we are better than our actions suggest, that the gap between who we are and who we want to be is smaller than it actually is. This is the mask of self-deception, and it is the hardest mask to remove because removing it requires us to see ourselves clearly, without the flattering filter of our own narratives. It requires us to acknowledge that we are not who we think we are, that our self-image is a construction, a performance, a lie we tell ourselves to make existence bearable. Most people never remove this mask. They cannot. The truth beneath it is too painful, too threatening to their sense of identity. They live their entire lives believing their own stories, performing for an audience of one, never realizing that the person they are performing for is themselves. La historia continúa. But what happens when the mask cracks? When the performance becomes impossible to maintain? When the gap between who we are and who we pretend to be becomes so wide that we can no longer bridge it with rationalization and self-deception? Let us return to Elena and Marcus. 3 years have passed since that dinner in the dimly lit restaurant. They are married now. They live in a beautiful apartment in a desirable neighborhood. From the outside, their life looks perfect. They have achieved what they set out to achieve. They are successful, stable, secure. But something is wrong. Elena feels it first. A restlessness, a dissatisfaction that she cannot name or explain. She has everything she wanted. Marcus has continued to rise in his career. They have financial security. They have social status. They have the life she planned for, the life she calculated and strategized and performed her way into. So why does she feel empty? Why does she lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, feeling like she is suffocating? Why does the sight of Marcus, sleeping peacefully beside her, fill her not with affection but with a kind of desperate resentment? She has worn the mask for so long. The mask of the loving wife, the supportive partner, the woman who chose Marcus for all the right reasons. She has performed her role so perfectly that she has forgotten it is a role. She has convinced herself that the strategic affection she felt at the beginning has transformed into real love, that the calculation has given way to genuine feeling. But it has not. Or if it has, the love that has grown is not enough to fill the emptiness inside her. Because Elena has sacrificed something in her performance. She has sacrificed herself. The parts of her that did not fit the role of Marcus's wife, the desires and dreams and aspects of her personality that were not useful to the life she was building, she has suppressed them, buried them, pretended they did not exist. And now they are demanding to be acknowledged. Now they are rising up from the depths where she buried them, and they are screaming. They are saying, this is not enough. This life you have built, this performance you have perfected, it is not enough. You are not happy. You are not fulfilled. You are not even really alive. You are a ghost, a shadow, a mask with nothing beneath it. Elena begins to pull away from Marcus. Subtly at first. She is less available, less attentive. She stops performing the small gestures of affection that have characterized their relationship. She stops asking about his day, stops offering comfort when he is stressed, stops pretending to be interested in the things that interest him. Marcus notices. Of course he notices. But he does not understand. He thinks she is tired, stressed, going through a phase. He tries to be patient, to give her space. He tells himself that this is normal, that all marriages go through difficult periods, that they will get through this. But Elena is not going through a phase. Elena is waking up. The mask is cracking, and she is seeing, for the first time in years, the face beneath it. And she does not recognize that face. She does not know who she is anymore, if she ever knew. She has spent so long being what others needed her to be, performing the roles that would get her what she wanted, that she has lost touch with any authentic sense of self. This is the crisis that comes when the mask cracks. Not just the loss of the performance, but the terrifying realization that there may be nothing beneath the performance. That we have become our masks, that the authentic self we thought we were protecting has withered away from lack of use, from lack of acknowledgement, from lack of air and light. Elena sits across from Marcus one evening. They are in their beautiful apartment, surrounded by all the markers of success they have accumulated. And she says the words that will shatter everything. I don't think I love you anymore. Marcus stares at her. He does not understand. How can this be happening? They have built a life together. They have been happy, haven't they? He searches his memory for signs, for warnings, for moments when he should have known this was coming. But he finds nothing. Or rather, he finds everything, all the small moments of distance and disconnection that he chose not to see, chose to explain away, chose to ignore because acknowledging them would have required him to question the narrative he had constructed about their relationship. He asks why. He demands an explanation, and Elena tries to give him one. But how can she explain that she does not know who she is? That she has been performing for so long that she has lost the ability to distinguish between authentic feeling and strategic emotion? That she married him not for love but for security, for status, for all the wrong reasons, and that she has only now realized the cost of that choice. She cannot say these things. They are too cruel, too honest. So she says the things people say when relationships end. We have grown apart. I need to find myself. It is not you, it is me. All the cliches, all the soft lies designed to cushion the blow. And Marcus, desperate for understanding, for closure, for some explanation that will make sense of this sudden destruction of his life, accepts these lies. He has to. The truth would be unbearable. This is what happens when masks crack. Relationships shatter. Lives are upended. People are hurt, sometimes irreparably. And the person who removes the mask, who finally acknowledges the performance, is left standing in the wreckage, wondering who they are and whether the destruction was worth it. Was Elena wrong to marry Marcus? Was she wrong to perform love in the hope that it would become real? Or was she simply doing what we all do, navigating the complex landscape of human relationships with the tools we have been given, trying to meet our needs while minimizing harm? These are not questions with easy answers, because the truth is that we are all Elena. We are all performing all the time, in every relationship, in every interaction. The only difference is the degree of consciousness we bring to the performance. Some of us know we are acting. Some of us have forgotten, but we are all wearing masks. La historia continúa. Let us examine the mask from a different angle. Let us talk about power, because every mask is ultimately about power, about who has it, who wants it, and what we are willing to do to get it or keep it. There is a concept in psychology called the dark triad. 3 personality traits that, when combined, create a particular kind of person. A person who is charming, charismatic, successful, and utterly without empathy. The 3 traits are narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. And the people who possess these traits are masters of the mask. They understand, intuitively or consciously, that human relationships are performances. They understand that people want to believe certain things about themselves and others, that people are desperate for connection, for validation, for love. And they use this understanding as a weapon. Consider a man. We will call him Victor. He is 35 years old, attractive, successful, magnetic. When he enters a room, people notice. When he speaks, people listen. He has a quality that is hard to define, but impossible to ignore. Presence, charisma, power. Victor is a narcissist. He believes deeply and completely that he is special, superior, deserving of admiration and deference. But he is also intelligent enough to know that he cannot simply demand these things. He must earn them, or appear to earn them. He must make people want to give him what he needs. So Victor wears a mask. The mask of the perfect partner, the ideal friend, the inspiring leader. He studies people the way a scientist studies specimens. He learns what they need, what they fear, what they desire, and then he gives it to them. Not out of generosity or compassion, but as a strategy, as a means of control. He meets a woman. We will call her Claire. She is intelligent, accomplished, but also lonely. She has been hurt before, has learned to be cautious, to protect herself. But Victor sees through her defenses. He sees the need beneath the caution, the hunger for connection beneath the protective shell. And he gives her exactly what she needs. He is attentive, interested, present. He asks questions about her life, her dreams, her fears. He listens, really listens, in a way that makes her feel seen, valued, understood. He mirrors her values, her interests, her worldview. He becomes, in her eyes, the perfect partner, the person she has been waiting for her entire life. Claire falls in love. How could she not? Victor has studied her, has learned her, has crafted a version of himself that is perfectly designed to appeal to her. He has worn the mask so skillfully that she cannot see it as a mask. She believes she is seeing his true face, his authentic self. But there is no authentic self. Or rather, the authentic self is so deeply buried, so thoroughly suppressed, that even Victor himself may not remember what it looks like. He has been performing for so long, wearing masks for so many different audiences, that he has become a collection of performances with no core, no center, no genuine feeling or connection. He does not love Claire. He is not capable of love, not in the way most people understand it. But he needs her. He needs her admiration, her devotion, her willingness to see him as special, as superior. He feeds on her love the way a parasite feeds on a host. And when she no longer provides what he needs, when her devotion begins to waver or her admiration begins to dim, he will discard her without hesitation or remorse. This is the mask of the narcissist. It is different from the masks we have examined before because it is worn not out of social necessity or self-protection, but out of a fundamental inability to connect with others as equals, as fellow human beings worthy of empathy and consideration. The narcissist sees other people as objects, as tools, as sources of supply, and the mask is the means by which they extract what they need. But here is the terrible truth. The narcissist is not a different species. They are not aliens among us. They are simply the extreme end of a spectrum that we all exist on, because we all use masks to manipulate, to control, to get what we need from others. We all perform versions of ourselves designed to appeal to specific audiences. We all, at times, see other people not as full human beings, but as means to our own ends. The difference is one of degree, not kind. The difference is that most of us feel guilt when we manipulate. We feel empathy for the people we hurt. We have some internal break, some moral compass, that limits how far we are willing to go in service of our own needs. The narcissist has no such break. They have no empathy, no guilt, no internal limit on their willingness to use and discard others. But the mask they wear is the same mask we all wear. The mask of the good person, the loving partner, the loyal friend. The mask that says I care about you, I value you, I see you as more than just a means to my own ends. And this is why narcissists are so dangerous, so difficult to identify. Because they are using the same tools we all use, just with more skill, more calculation, and absolutely no conscience. Claire will eventually see through Victor's mask. It may take months or years, but eventually the mask will slip. She will see moments of cruelty, of indifference, of contempt. She will realize that the person she fell in love with never existed, that she has been in love with a performance, a carefully constructed illusion. And the realization will devastate her. Not just because she has lost someone she loved, but because she will question her own judgment, her own ability to see clearly, to trust her own perceptions. This is the damage that masks can do. Not just the immediate harm of deception, but the deeper harm of making us doubt ourselves, doubt our ability to distinguish between authentic connection and skillful performance. Once you have been fooled by a master of masks, once you have loved an illusion and believed it was real, you begin to question everything. Every relationship becomes suspect. Every expression of love or care or interest becomes potentially false. You become paranoid, hypervigilant, unable to trust or connect because you are always looking for the mask, always waiting for it to slip. La historia continúa. So what is the answer? If we are all wearing masks, if all human relationships are performances, if love itself is contaminated by calculation and self-interest, what are we to do? Should we simply accept this as the human condition, as the price of civilization? Should we embrace the performance, become more skillful actors, better manipulators? Or should we strive to remove the masks, to be authentic, to show our true faces regardless of the cost? These questions have occupied philosophers for millennia, and the answers are not simple. Consider what would happen if we all removed our masks simultaneously. If we all agreed in one moment to stop performing, to stop pretending, to show our true faces and speak our true thoughts without filter or consideration for how they would be received. Chaos, destruction, the immediate collapse of every social structure we have built. Because civilization is built on masks, on the agreement to suppress our immediate impulses and desires in service of the collective good. We do not say everything we think. We do not act on every urge. We perform civility, kindness, consideration, even when we do not feel these things, because the alternative is a war of all against all, a return to a state of nature where life is, as Thomas Hobbes famously wrote, solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. So the masks are necessary. They are the price we pay for living in society, for having relationships, for building anything that lasts longer than a moment. We cannot remove them entirely without destroying everything we have built. But neither can we wear them without cost. Because every mask we wear, every performance we stage, every authentic impulse we suppress takes a toll. It creates a gap between who we are and who we present ourselves to be. And that gap, over time, becomes a wound. It becomes a source of anxiety, depression, emptiness. It becomes the voice that whispers in the dark hours, "You are a fraud. You are not who they think you are. If they knew the truth, they would reject you, abandon you, destroy you." This is the paradox of the mask. We cannot live with it, and we cannot live without it. We need it to survive in society, to form relationships, to achieve our goals. But it also slowly kills us, eroding our sense of self, our ability to connect authentically, our capacity for genuine feeling. So what is the solution? Perhaps it is not to remove the mask entirely, but to become conscious of it. To acknowledge that we are performing, that we are wearing masks, but to do so with awareness, with intention, with some degree of choice about when and how we perform. Perhaps the goal is not authenticity in the absolute sense, which may be impossible or even undesirable, but rather what we might call conscious performance. The ability to choose which mask to wear, to understand why we are wearing it, and to remember always that it is a mask and not our true face. This requires a kind of double consciousness. The ability to be both actor and observer, to perform while simultaneously watching ourselves perform. It requires us to hold two truths in our minds at once. The truth that we are performing, and the truth that the performance is necessary. The truth that our relationships are contaminated by calculation and self-interest, and the truth that they can still contain genuine care, genuine connection, genuine love. This is not easy. It may be one of the hardest things a human being can do, because it requires us to live with ambiguity, with contradiction, with the uncomfortable awareness that we are never entirely who we present ourselves to be, but also never entirely false. We are somewhere in between, in that murky space where performance and authenticity blur together, where the mask and the face become indistinguishable. Let us return one final time to our characters. To Elena and Marcus, to David and his father, to Sarah in her conference room, to Jessica and Amanda, to Thomas walking past the homeless man, to Victor and Claire. What becomes of them? What happens after the mask cracks, or when it is worn so long it becomes the face? Elena leaves Marcus. She moves into a small apartment, starts therapy, begins the long, painful process of trying to figure out who she is beneath the roles she has played. It is harder than she expected. She discovers that she does not have clear preferences, clear desires, clear sense of self. She has spent so long being what others needed her to be, that she has no idea what she needs, what she wants, who she is. The freedom she thought she was seeking feels more like emptiness, like falling through space with nothing to hold on to. But slowly, painfully, she begins to find something. Not a fixed identity, not a true self that was waiting beneath the masks, but rather a process. A way of being that is more conscious, more intentional. She learns to notice when she is performing, when she is wearing a mask. She learns to ask herself why. Is this mask necessary? Is it protecting me, or is it preventing me from connecting? Is it serving me, or am I serving it? She does not become perfectly authentic. That is not possible. But she becomes more aware. And that awareness, that consciousness, makes all the difference. Marcus struggles. The end of his marriage shatters his sense of reality. He thought he knew Elena. He thought he knew their relationship. The revelation that it was all, or mostly, a performance devastates him. He goes through the predictable stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression. He drinks too much. He works too much. He tries to fill the emptiness with new relationships, but they all feel hollow, performative, false. Eventually, he too begins therapy. And there, in that space of enforced honesty, he begins to see his own masks. He begins to understand that he too was performing, that his love for Elena was mixed with need, with the desire to be validated, to be seen as successful not just professionally but personally. He begins to understand that he chose Elena partly because she reflected well on him, because she was beautiful and intelligent and made him look good. He begins to understand that his grief is not just for the loss of Elena, but for the loss of the story he told himself about their relationship, about himself, about what love is and what it means. This understanding does not make the pain go away, but it changes the nature of the pain. It becomes less about what Elena did to him and more about the human condition, about the impossibility of perfect love, perfect authenticity, perfect connection. It becomes a grief not just for his marriage, but for the loss of innocence, the loss of the belief that relationships can be simple, pure, uncomplicated by the messy realities of human psychology. David's father dies. The funeral is well attended. People say kind things about the old man, about his strength, his integrity, his dedication to his family. David gives a eulogy. He says the things that are expected. He performs the role of grieving son. And he does grieve. But his grief is complicated, tangled with resentment and regret, and the terrible awareness of all the things that were never said, never acknowledged, never resolved. After the funeral, David goes home to his own family. His daughters are there, both of them, and he looks at them and sees the masks they wear for him. The mask of the successful daughter, the mask of the dutiful child. And he sees for the first time how he has taught them to wear these masks, how he has demanded these performances, how he has perpetuated the same patterns that his father perpetuated with him. And he makes a decision. A small one, but significant. He sits down with his daughters, and he tells them something true, something real. He tells them that he is afraid, that he does not know how to be a father without being the kind of father his own father was, that he loves them but does not know how to show it without the filters and masks and performances that have defined his entire life. His daughters are shocked. They have never heard their father speak this way. They do not know how to respond. But something shifts in the room. A small crack appears in the wall of performance that has separated them. It is not much. It does not solve everything, but it is a beginning. Sarah gets her promotion. She becomes the youngest woman in her company's history to reach the executive level. She should feel triumphant. She has achieved what she set out to achieve. She has won the game. But the victory feels hollow, because she knows what it cost. She knows how many times she had to smile when she wanted to scream, how many times she had to soften her language, how many times she had to make men comfortable with her ambition by disguising it as something else. And she knows that the game is not over, that she will have to keep playing, keep performing, keep wearing the mask, because the system has not changed. She has simply learned to navigate it more skillfully. She has become a master of the mask, but the mask is still a mask, and it still takes its toll. She begins to mentor younger women in the company, and she tells them the truth. Not the sanitized version, not the inspirational story of hard work and perseverance, but the real truth. She tells them about the masks they will have to wear, the performances they will have to stage, the exhausting dance of competence and likability. She tells them that it is not fair, that it should not be this way, but that it is this way, and they need to know. Some of the younger women are grateful for this honesty. Others are angry. They do not want to hear that they will have to compromise, that they will have to perform, that authenticity is a luxury they cannot afford. They want to believe that things have changed, that they will not have to wear the masks that Sarah wore. And maybe they are right. Maybe things are changing. But Sarah knows that change is slow, and in the meantime, the masks are still necessary. Jessica and Amanda's friendship survives, but it is transformed. The crack that appeared when Jessica's life became too successful, too happy, too much of a contrast to Amanda's struggles, that crack never fully heals. They remain friends, but there is a distance now, a carefulness. They edit themselves around each other. They do not share everything. They have learned that friendship, like all relationships, has limits, boundaries, places where honesty is too dangerous, where the truth would do more harm than good. Amanda eventually finds her way out of her struggles. Her career improves. Her marriage ends, which is painful but ultimately liberating. She builds a new life, one that feels more authentic, more aligned with who she actually is. And as her life improves, she finds that she can be happy for Jessica again, that the envy has faded, that she can celebrate her friend's success without feeling diminished by it. But she never forgets the feeling, the bitter taste of envy, the shame of resenting someone she loved. And she understands, in a way she did not before, that friendship is not immune to the darker aspects of human nature. That we can love someone and still feel competitive with them, envious of them, diminished by their success. That these feelings do not make us bad people, just human people, people who are subject to all the complicated emotions that come with being comparative creatures in a hierarchical world. Thomas continues his life. He continues to think of himself as a good person. The moment with the homeless man fades from his memory, buried beneath layers of rationalization and self-deception. He continues to recycle, to donate to charity, to be polite to service workers. He continues to perform the role of the enlightened, progressive, compassionate person. But something has changed, even if he does not consciously acknowledge it. Some small part of him remembers. Some small part of him knows that his self-image is a construction, a performance, a mask. And in moments of quiet, in the space between sleep and waking, that knowledge whispers to him, "You are not who you think you are. You are not as good as you believe." The gap between your self-image and your actions is wider than you want to admit. He does not listen to this whisper. He cannot. It is too threatening, too destabilizing. But it is there, a small seed of doubt, a tiny crack in the mask. And maybe someday that crack will widen. Maybe someday he will be forced to confront the gap between who he is and who he pretends to be. Or maybe not. Maybe he will live his entire life believing his own performance, never fully seeing the mask he wears. Victor moves on from Claire. He finds a new source of supply, a new person to charm and manipulate and feed on. Claire is left to pick up the pieces of her shattered sense of reality. She goes through the predictable stages: confusion, denial, anger, grief. She blames herself. She must have done something wrong, must have failed to be enough, must have driven him away. It takes her a long time to understand that it was never about her, that Victor was incapable of genuine connection, that she was in love with a mask, an illusion, a performance designed to extract what he needed. When she finally understands this, when she finally sees Victor clearly, she feels a strange mixture of emotions. Relief, because it was not her fault. Anger, because she was used and discarded. But also something else. A kind of dark fascination. Because Victor showed her something true about human nature, about the masks we wear, about the performance of love and connection. He showed her the extreme end of the spectrum, the place where performance becomes pathology, where the mask is all there is. And this knowledge, painful as it is, changes her. She becomes more cautious, yes, more guarded, but also more aware. She learns to look for the signs of performance, the tells that indicate someone is wearing a mask. She learns to trust her instincts, to pay attention to the small moments of inconsistency, the places where the mask slips. She learns that love is not just about feeling, but about observation, about paying attention, about seeing clearly. She will love again, but she will love differently. With more awareness, more consciousness, more understanding of the complex dance of authenticity and performance that characterizes all human relationships. She will never again mistake a skillful performance for genuine connection. She will never again love an illusion and believe it is real. La historia continúa. So we return to the question we started with. What is love? What lies beneath the mask we call love? The answer, if there is one, is this. Love is both the mask and what lies beneath it. It is both performance and authenticity, both calculation and genuine feeling. It is the strategic affection that Elena felt for Marcus, and it is also the real care that developed over time. It is the conditional approval that David's father offered, and it is also the genuine pride he felt. It is the exhausting performance that Sarah stages at work, and it is also the real satisfaction she feels when she succeeds. It is the envy that Amanda felt toward Jessica, and it is also the genuine happiness she felt for her friend's success. It is the self-deception that Thomas practices, and it is also the small seed of self-awareness that whispers the truth. It is the mask that Victor wears, and it is also the genuine human need that drives him to wear it. Love is not pure. It is not simple. It is not the fairy tale we were promised as children. It is messy, complicated, contaminated by all the other needs and desires and fears that make us human. It is strategic and genuine, calculated and spontaneous, selfish and selfless, all at the same time. And the mask? The mask is not separate from love. The mask is part of love. It is how we navigate the impossible complexity of human connection. It is how we protect ourselves while still reaching out to others. It is how we perform the roles that society demands while still trying to maintain some sense of authentic self. The question is not whether to wear the mask. We must wear it. The question is whether we wear it consciously or unconsciously, whether we are aware of the performance or lost in it, whether we remember that there is a face beneath the mask, even if we can never fully show it, even if we ourselves are not entirely sure what it looks like. This is the wisdom that comes from examining the mask, not the wisdom of perfect authenticity, which is impossible, not the wisdom of skillful manipulation, which is empty, but the wisdom of conscious performance. The wisdom of knowing that we are actors on a stage, playing roles, wearing masks, but also knowing that we are more than our performances, that there is something beneath the mask, even if it is fragile and uncertain and constantly changing. This wisdom does not make life easier. In some ways, it makes it harder, because once you see the masks, you cannot unsee them. Once you understand the performance, you cannot return to the innocent belief that what you see is what you get, that people are who they present themselves to be, that love is simple and pure and uncomplicated. But it also makes life richer. Because when you understand the masks, when you see the performance, you also see the courage it takes to perform. You see the vulnerability beneath the mask, the fear that drives us to hide, the desperate need for connection that makes us reach out despite the risk of rejection. You see that everyone is struggling with the same paradox. Everyone is trying to be authentic while also being acceptable. Everyone is trying to show their true face while also protecting themselves from judgment and rejection. Everyone is wearing masks, and everyone is exhausted by the weight of them. And in that understanding, there is compassion. Not the easy compassion of ignorance, the compassion that comes from believing everyone is doing their best and means well, but the harder, deeper compassion that comes from understanding that we are all trapped in the same impossible situation, all trying to navigate the gap between who we are and who we need to be, all wearing masks because the alternative is too dangerous, too exposing, too terrifying. This is the gift of seeing beneath the mask. Not certainty, not simplicity, not the comfort of clear answers and easy judgments, but understanding, compassion, the recognition that we are all in this together, all struggling with the same fundamental human problems, all trying to connect while also protecting ourselves, all trying to love while also surviving. And maybe that is enough. Maybe that understanding, that compassion, that recognition of our shared struggle is the closest we can come to authentic connection. Not the removal of all masks, which is impossible, but the acknowledgement of the masks, the conscious choice to see each other clearly, to recognize the performance while also honoring the vulnerability beneath it. Maybe love, real love, is not about finding someone who does not wear masks. It is about finding someone who is willing to acknowledge their masks, to let you see the performance, to share the burden of consciousness. Someone who understands that you too are performing, that you too are wearing masks, and who loves you not despite this, but because of it, because they understand that the masks are part of being human, part of the struggle to connect in a world that demands performance. This is not the love of fairy tales. It is not perfect or pure or simple. It is complicated, messy, shot through with all the contradictions and paradoxes that make us human. But it is real, or as real as anything can be in a world of masks and performances and endless self-deception. And maybe that is the final truth beneath the mask. That there is no final truth. That we are always performing and always authentic, always wearing masks and always showing our true faces, always calculating and always feeling genuine emotion. That the mask and the face are not separate things but two aspects of the same thing, two sides of the same coin, inseparable and interdependent. We are the masks we wear, and we are also what lies beneath them. We are both the performance and the performer. We are both the lie and the truth. And learning to live with this paradox, to hold these contradictions without trying to resolve them, to be both conscious of the performance and committed to it, this is perhaps the deepest wisdom we can achieve. La historia continúa. Let us go deeper still. Let us examine the masks we wear in the most intimate spaces, the places where we believe we are most authentic, most ourselves. The mask we wear when we are alone. You might think that when we are alone, when there is no audience, no one to perform for, we finally remove the mask. We finally show our true face, even if only to ourselves. But this is not true. Even in solitude, especially in solitude, we are performing. We are performing for the most demanding audience of all. Ourselves. Consider the thoughts you have when you are alone, the internal monologue that runs constantly in your mind. Is it honest? Is it accurate? Or is it a carefully curated narrative, a story you tell yourself about who you are, what you want, why you do the things you do? Most of us, if we are honest, will admit that our internal monologue is not entirely truthful. We edit our memories, emphasizing the moments that support our self-image and minimizing or forgetting the moments that contradict it. We rationalize our failures and take credit for our successes. We tell ourselves stories about our motivations that are flattering, that cast us as the heroes of our own lives, that explain away our cruelties and selfishness as necessary, justified, understandable. This is the mask we wear for ourselves. The mask of the person we want to be, the person we believe we are, the person we need to believe we are in order to maintain our self-esteem, our sense of identity, our ability to function in the world. And this mask is perhaps the most dangerous of all, because when we lie to others, we know we are lying. We feel the discomfort of the deception, the weight of the performance. But when we lie to ourselves, we believe the lie. We mistake the mask for our true face. We lose the ability to see ourselves clearly. There is a woman. We will call her Rachel. She is 41 years old, married for 15 years, mother of 2 children. She believes she is happy. She tells herself she is happy. When people ask, she says she is happy. She has a good life, a stable marriage, healthy children, financial security. What more could she want? But there are moments, small moments, barely acknowledged, quickly suppressed. Moments when she is driving alone in her car and she imagines just keeping driving, not stopping, not going home, just disappearing into a new life where no one knows her, where she has no obligations, no responsibilities, no role to play. Moments when she looks at her husband and feels nothing. Not love, not hate, just a vast emptiness, a sense of being trapped in a life she did not choose, or that she chose so long ago she cannot remember why, cannot remember who she was when she made that choice. Moments when she looks at her children and feels resentment. Not because they have done anything wrong, but because they need her, constantly, endlessly, and she has nothing left to give. She has performed the role of mother for so long, has given so much of herself, that there is nothing left. She is empty, hollowed out, a mask with nothing beneath it. But these moments are dangerous. They threaten her self-image, her identity, her sense of who she is. So she suppresses them. She tells herself she is just tired, just stressed, just going through a phase. She tells herself that all mothers feel this way sometimes, that it is normal, that it does not mean anything. She tells herself she is happy, and she believes it. Most of the time. Except in those small moments when the mask slips and she sees, just for an instant, the truth beneath it. The truth that she is not happy. That she has not been happy for years. That she has been performing happiness for so long that she has forgotten what real happiness feels like, or if she has ever felt it at all. This is the tragedy of the mask we wear for ourselves. It protects us from truths that are too painful to acknowledge. But it also traps us in lives that are not truly ours, in roles that we have outgrown or never fit in the first place. It keeps us safe, but it also keeps us small, keeps us from growing, from changing, from becoming who we might be if we had the courage to remove the mask and see our true face. But removing this mask is perhaps the hardest thing a human being can do, because it requires us to question everything. Our choices, our relationships, our entire sense of identity. It requires us to admit that we have been lying to ourselves, that the story we have been telling about our life is not true, that we are not who we thought we were. And what comes after that admission? What do we do when we remove the mask and find that we do not recognize the face beneath it? When we realize that we have been performing for so long that we have lost touch with any authentic sense of self. Some people, like Rachel, never remove this mask. They live their entire lives performing happiness, performing satisfaction, performing contentment, never acknowledging the emptiness beneath the performance. They die having never truly lived, having never taken the risk of seeing themselves clearly, of questioning the roles they have played, of imagining a different life. Others, like Elena, reach a breaking point. The mask becomes too heavy, the performance too exhausting, the gap between who they are and who they pretend to be too wide to bridge. And they make the terrifying choice to remove the mask, to see their true face, to acknowledge the truth of their unhappiness, their dissatisfaction, their need for something different. This choice is not easy. It is not clean. It often involves hurting people we care about, destroying lives we have built, abandoning roles we have played for years or decades. It involves stepping into uncertainty, into the unknown, into a space where we do not know who we are or what we want or how to be. But it also involves the possibility of something real, something authentic, something that is not a performance but a genuine expression of who we are, or who we might become if we give ourselves permission to grow, to change, to be more than the roles we have been assigned or have assigned ourselves. This is the choice that faces us all eventually. To continue wearing the mask, to continue performing, to continue living the life we have constructed even if it no longer fits. Or to remove the mask, to face the terrifying uncertainty of not knowing who we are, to take the risk of building a new life that might be more authentic, more aligned with our true selves, whatever those true selves might be. There is no right answer. Both choices have costs. Both choices involve loss. The question is which loss we can live with. The loss of authenticity, of genuine self-expression, of the possibility of a life that truly fits. Or the loss of security, of stability, of the known and familiar, even if the known and familiar is a prison. La historia continúa. Let us turn now to the question of guilt. Because guilt is intimately connected to the mask, to the gap between who we are and who we present ourselves to be. Guilt is what we feel when we are forced to acknowledge that gap, when the mask slips and we see ourselves clearly, when we cannot maintain the fiction that we are good people, that our intentions are pure, that we are who we pretend to be. There is a man. We will call him James. He is 52 years old, successful, respected in his community. He has built a reputation as a man of integrity, a man who can be trusted, a man who does the right thing. And he believes this about himself. He wears the mask of the good man, and he has worn it for so long that he believes it is his true face. But there is a secret, a small one, barely worth mentioning, except that it reveals everything. Years ago, when James was building his business, he made a choice. A partner, a man who had been with him from the beginning, who had worked as hard as James, who deserved an equal share of the success. This partner was pushed out. Not violently, not obviously, but systematically, deliberately, through a series of small betrayals and manipulations that James orchestrated with skill and precision. James told himself, at the time, that it was necessary, that his partner was holding the business back, that he was making the right choice for the company, for the employees, for everyone involved. He rationalized. He justified. He constructed a narrative in which he was not the villain but the hero, making hard choices, doing what needed to be done. And he believed this narrative. He had to, because the alternative, the truth that he had betrayed someone who trusted him, that he had stolen what rightfully belonged to another person, that he had acted out of greed and ambition rather than principle. This truth was too painful to acknowledge. So he buried it. He wore the mask of the good man, the man of integrity, and he performed this role so convincingly that everyone believed it, including himself, especially himself. But the guilt remained, buried deep, suppressed, denied, but still there. It manifested in small ways: insomnia, anxiety, a vague sense of unease that he could never quite explain or shake, a feeling that he was waiting for something, for the other shoe to drop, for his secret to be revealed, for the mask to be torn away and his true face exposed. Years passed, decades. The partner he betrayed moved on, built a different life, perhaps never even realized the full extent of James's betrayal. The secret remained buried. James's reputation remained intact. He continued to be respected, admired, trusted. He continued to wear the mask of the good man. But the guilt never went away. It could not, because guilt is not just about being caught, about facing external consequences. Guilt is about the internal knowledge that we have violated our own values, that we have acted in ways that contradict our self-image, that we are not who we pretend to be. And this knowledge, once it exists, cannot be erased. It can be suppressed, denied, rationalized, but it cannot be eliminated. It lives in us like a parasite, feeding on our peace of mind, our sense of self, our ability to believe our own performance. This is the cost of the mask. Not just the exhaustion of performing, but the guilt of knowing that we are performing. The knowledge that there is a gap between who we are and who we present ourselves to be, and that this gap is filled with all the things we have done, all the choices we have made, all the betrayals and cruelties and moments of cowardice that we would rather forget. Some people, like James, carry this guilt for their entire lives. It becomes part of them, a weight they can never put down, a shadow they can never escape. They learn to live with it, to function despite it, but it is always there, always whispering, always reminding them that they are not who they pretend to be. Others find ways to address the guilt. They confess. They make amends. They try to repair the damage they have done. This is not easy. It requires courage, humility, the willingness to face consequences, to damage their reputation, to remove the mask and show their true face, even knowing that what lies beneath is not admirable, not good, not worthy of respect. But there is a kind of freedom in this. The freedom that comes from no longer having to maintain the performance, from no longer having to carry the weight of the secret, from no longer having to live with the gap between who you are and who you present yourself to be. James never finds this freedom. He carries his guilt to his grave, never confessing, never making amends, never removing the mask. And when he dies, people speak at his funeral about what a good man he was, what integrity he had, how he could always be trusted. And no one knows the truth. No one except James, and he is no longer there to tell it. This is perhaps the saddest aspect of the mask, that we can wear it so successfully, so convincingly, that even after we are gone, people remember the mask rather than the face. They remember the performance rather than the performer. They remember the lie rather than the truth. And maybe that is what we want. Maybe that is why we wear the masks in the first place. Not just to protect ourselves in the moment, but to control how we are remembered, to ensure that our legacy is the story we want told rather than the truth of who we were. Maybe the mask is not just about surviving in the present, but about shaping the future, about ensuring that we are remembered as we want to be remembered rather than as we actually were. But what is lost in this? What do we sacrifice when we choose the mask over the truth, the performance over authenticity, the comfortable lie over the uncomfortable reality? We sacrifice the possibility of being truly known, of being seen, fully and completely, with all our flaws and failures and moments of weakness, and being loved anyway. We sacrifice the possibility of genuine connection, of relationships based not on performance, but on. There is a theater that never closes. Its stages everywhere. In the coffee shop where two lovers meet for the first time. In the boardroom where careers are built and destroyed with a single word. In the bedroom where whispered promises dissolve into morning silence. You are both actor and audience in this theater, though you may not realize it yet. The curtain rises every morning when you open your eyes, and it falls only when sleep finally claims you. But even then, in dreams, the performance continues. Love, that word, for letters that have launched 1,000 ships, toppled empires, and justified every conceivable human action from the sublime to the monstrous. We speak it like a prayer. We chase it like salvation. We kill for it, die for it, lie for it. But what is it, really? Strip away the poetry, the songs, the stories we've been fed since childhood, and what remains? What lies beneath the mask we call love? Before we continue, a warning. The knowledge that's about to be shared cannot be unlearned. It will permanently change the way you see human relationships. If you're ready to abandon comfortable illusions and see what's behind the stage, subscribe now. Because this isn't just a video. It's the beginning of your journey under the mask. Now let us begin. Picture a woman. Let's call her Elena. She sits across from a man in a dimly lit restaurant, the kind of place where shadows pool in corners and candlelight makes everyone look like they're hiding something. Because they are. Always. The man, we'll call him Marcus, reaches across the table and takes her hand. His thumb traces circles on her palm, a gesture so tender it could make you weep. She smiles. Her eyes glisten with what anyone would recognize as affection, perhaps even adoration. If you were watching this scene, you would think, there it is. Love. Real, pure, undeniable. But you cannot see what Elena sees. You cannot feel the calculation humming beneath her skin like electricity. Marcus is successful. Not wealthy, not yet, but ascending. She has watched him for months, studied the trajectory of his career the way an astronomer studies the path of a comet. She knows he will be important someday. She knows that beside him, she too will rise. The smile she wears is not a lie exactly. It is a tool. The affection in her eyes is not false. It is strategic. She has trained herself to feel what is useful to feel, to want what is wise to want. Is this love? Or is this something else wearing love's face? Marcus squeezes her hand. He believes he has won something precious. He believes he has been chosen for his qualities, his character, his essence. He does not know that he has been selected the way one selects a stock, after careful analysis of potential returns. He does not know because Elena herself may not fully know. The human mind is a master of self-deception. We tell ourselves stories about our own motivations, stories so convincing that we become our own most devoted audience. This is the first mask we must examine. The mask of romantic love. Not the love itself, if such a thing exists in pure form, but the performance of it. The elaborate dance we do, the roles we play, the scripts we follow without ever acknowledging that we are following scripts at all. Consider the architecture of a first date. Two strangers, or near strangers, sit across from each other and engage in a ritual as old as civilization itself. They ask questions designed to sound spontaneous, but which follow predictable patterns. Where are you from? What do you do? What are your passions? Each answer is carefully curated, edited in real time to present the most attractive version of the self. Not the self that exists in private moments of doubt and weakness, but the self that deserves to be loved. And here is where it becomes interesting. Both parties know on some level that this editing is occurring. Both parties know that the person across the table is performing. Yet both parties agree, silently and completely, to accept the performance as reality. This is the social contract of romance. We will pretend that our masks are our faces, and in return, you will pretend the same. We will believe each other's lies because the alternative, the raw unmasked truth, is too terrifying to contemplate. What would happen if Marcus looked at Elena and said, I am attracted to you because you possess qualities that will enhance my social status and provide me with regular access to physical intimacy and emotional validation, which are needs I cannot meet independently. What would happen if Elena responded, I am attracted to you because I have assessed your earning potential and determined that a partnership with you will provide me with financial security and social advancement. The date would end immediately, not because these statements are untrue, but because they are too true. They violate the sacred rule of the theater. Never acknowledge that you are acting. La historia continúa. Let us go deeper. Let us examine the moment when the mask begins to slip, as it always does, as it must. 6 months have passed. Elena and Marcus are no longer performing the first date. They have moved into a new act, the act of established couplehood. They have learned each other's rhythms, each other's needs. They have seen each other sick, angry, afraid. The masks have not come off, understand, but they have loosened. Small truths leak through the cracks. Marcus comes home late one evening. He is tired. A deal he has been working on for months has fallen through. He feels the weight of failure pressing down on his shoulders like a physical thing. He wants comfort. He wants Elena to hold him and tell him that his worth is not measured by his professional success, that she loves him for who he is, not what he achieves. Elena sees him enter. She reads his body language instantly. The slumped shoulders, the averted eyes. She knows what he needs. But tonight, she is tired too. She has spent the day managing her own disappointments, her own small failures. She does not have the energy to perform the role of comforter, of unconditional supporter. She wants to be held herself. She wants someone to tell her that she is enough. But she looks at Marcus, and she makes a calculation. Not a conscious one, perhaps. The calculation happens in the space between heartbeats, in the ancient part of the brain that understands survival. If she does not give him what he needs now, in this moment of vulnerability, she risks the stability of their bond. She risks his resentment. She risks the future she has been building. So she smiles. She crosses the room. She wraps her arms around him and makes the sounds of comfort, the soft murmurs that say, "You are safe, you are valued, you are loved." And Marcus, desperate for this comfort, accepts it without question. He does not ask if she means it. He does not wonder what it costs her to give it. He simply takes what is offered and feels grateful. Is Elena's gesture loving? Or is it transactional? Can it be both? Can love exist in the same space as calculation? Or does calculation poison love by its very presence? These are not rhetorical questions. These are the questions that haunt every human relationship, whispered in the dark hours when sleep will not come and the mask grows heavy on your face. Here is what the poets will not tell you. Here is what the songs leave out. Love, as we practice it, as we perform it, is a negotiation. It is a constant exchange of needs and fulfillments, of debts and payments. I will meet your need for validation if you meet my need for security. I will perform desire if you perform devotion. We keep ledgers in our hearts, though we would die before admitting it. We track who gave more, who sacrificed more, who loved more. And when the ledger becomes too unbalanced, when one party feels they have given too much and received too little, the relationship fractures. But we cannot say this out loud. We cannot acknowledge the transaction because to do so would shatter the illusion that our love is pure, selfless, unconditional. We must pretend that we give without expecting return, that we love without agenda, that we are motivated by nothing but the purest desire for the other's happiness. This is the lie. The beautiful, necessary lie. The lie that makes civilization possible. Watch Elena as she holds Marcus. Watch the way her hand moves in slow circles on his back,